Oh yeah. We're gonna start off with a little AKA for a minute, right quick. Yeah. This was the jam that really turned me on to South African hip hop. It was actually like a diss song. He was dissing Casper, right? I didn't know what he was talking about at first or who he was talking about. Why you gassing, dog? Why you coming to my table without asking, dog? Yeah. Yeah. My catalog.
It gives me Drake vibes.
Yeah, it sounds like
It gives
Drake a
me
little
Drake
bit.
vibes. All right.
Yeah. Unlock.
All
I
right.
think unlock means like lit, like
Oh,
turned up. I think
maybe
that's the way he used it.
educate me.
Yeah. But anyway, yo, ain't got nothing to do with this. I just want to start off with a little AKA. You know, he dropped a new joint like during the pandemic, and the lead single was called Energy.
Hmm.
And when I work out, I listen to Energy. It's cool. Uh, I'm always missing the lyrics. I can't ever get the lyrics. But anyway, what's happening, family?
Anyway.
We started off a little different. First of all, this is your brother Assad,
And Adrian,
and we are back again with a quick video.
real quick.
Real quick. This time, look, listen. Oh, listen. To everybody that was talking about the beeping alarm, right? The beeping smoke detector. I changed the battery. Yes, I did.
What
I
you got to
changed the
say
battery.
now?
Yeah, somebody said you got a PhD, but can't do home. What did you say? Home work,
Fix it or
yeah,
so,
whatever
I
it
don't
is.
know.
I, I don't know.
Handyman. You're not a handyman or something.
I ain't never been a handyman. No, indeed. But anyway,
Anyway,
so
I have a question.
what's
I have a
going on?
question for you.
All right.
Why has it taken us so long to move to South Africa?
Interesting.
I mean, we announced this in what, 2020?
2020, we did.
What's the problem?
Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Say it with me. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Y'all could take that with you. That's game. You could take that with you. That's game. So I see a lot of folk. Mhm.
Mm,
I ain't
mm.
I ain't saying no names, but I see a lot of folk leaving the United States, and they jump into different places on the continent, and they have not planned properly, and then next thing you know, they're back in the U.S. Right?
Running
Or
out of
they're
money.
running out of money, or they're somewhere struggling. And let me just be very, 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 very clear and honest and transparent. I am not about the struggle life. No, 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 no,
Mm-mm,
no, no.
mm-mm,
No, I'm not about the
mm-mm,
struggle life. I tried it once, nearly
mm-mm.
killed me. I almost lost my religion. No, I
Oh
can't do
no,
the
I don't do no
struggle.
struggle. How long you
Mm-mm.
been working? When you start your first job?
I started
When
my
you start
first
working?
job when I was 14 years old,
As did I.
and I've been trying to get my money ever since.
Been
I can't do the
focused.
struggle. I can't do the struggle. So I see a lot of folks, all jokes aside, I see a lot of folks moving, and they're like moving to Africa. Like, first
Mm-hmm.
of all, I heard one person visited, like they decided to move to a country in Africa and had not visited. And if we have
Full
learned,
stop.
pause, right? That's different. That's different. And
It's
if we
real
learn
different.
anything from the real South Africa, they say what? It all starts with a visit.
Come
You need to
visit.
visit first, right? So
Yeah.
we have been to South Africa 3 times going on 4, and we have spent, I would say, an extensive amount of time in the country. Quick visits sometimes, but enough to, and then for us in particular, we always stay in the same spot, the exact same place.
Hmm.
So we're very familiar with that place. And,
And
you know,
it helps ease the distractions. So once you're somewhere, you know where everything is. You're
right,
at a comfortable base. You created a home for yourself. It's easy to go from there.
right.
Easy, easy,
We,
easy.
we,
You
every,
know.
every single time we have gone to South Africa, we've rented a car and driven around all of Johannesburg,
Right.
right? All of Johannesburg. So we've gotten to know places, we don't do the Uber. Like we literally put it in the GPS,
Hmm.
and we're driving, finding our way around, trying to familiarize ourselves with the city. But yeah, to decide to move to a place without visiting, and this one individual said God told him, and God don't talk to me like that.
No, not
He-
me either.
No, he don't talk to me
He
like
must
that.
use a different language.
God, God be like, boy, I know you're not built for the struggle. Let me tell you what you need to do. That's how he talked to me. Let me tell you what you need to do. Right. So, why is it taking us so long? Because we have been planning. We have been doing an extensive amount of planning to try to cover our bases as much as possible
Right.
with Plan A through Plan Z, secondary and thirdary. That's not a word.
Tertiary?
Tertiary.
Is that what we're trying to say?
I don't know. And now you didn't confuse me even more.
sorry.
Tertiary, I don't know.
Secondary and other.
Yeah, I thought tertiary was something else.
I don't think that's it, but
That's not
it's
it.
not coming
That's
up.
all good. We got Plan 1, 2, 3,
Four.
4.
And 5.
Brother man upstairs on the 5th floor. Get in. But we got all sorts of plans. So the first plan was to do what? Secure virtual income. And virtual income that could sustain our lifestyle in South Africa, that to maintain the lifestyle we have here in South Africa. Right.
Or anywhere for that.
Or anywhere in the world, because it's virtual.
Right.
Right. So whether you're doing virtual contract or virtual employee where you don't have an office, or whether you have your own business and you make money online and you don't have to you offer a service or a product, whatever have you. But the virtual income was the thing for us.
Right.
That liberated us from place. It liberated us from location. Right. So once you're virtual, again, we can go to South Africa. We can go say, oh, you know what? I want to go spend 2 months in Rwanda. I want to spend 2 months in Tanzania or wherever have you. So secure virtual income. But not only that, we cannot depend just on the white man and his job. Can't depend on the white man and his job. Because a job is what? Just over broke.
Oh, that's where the control comes in.
Ain't it right?
Right. If you depend on that job and they wake up tomorrow and say, we need people to be back in the office, or whatever they may say. I don't know. But
you see, when you have more than one stream of income, you look at your boss or your supervisor or the owner of the firm and the company, you look at them differently. It's like, I mean, yeah, you could let me go. I'm going to be good though.
Right.
So can you come in early tomorrow? No.
You can set boundaries when you have options.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I can't meet that deadline.
No, I won't be able to be there. Can you work a holiday? I mean, even though I don't have a job that would ask me to come in early and work a holiday. No, the people who are in charge are not trying to work on a holiday.
Right.
So anyway, but yeah, so multiple streams of income. So not just having the virtual income, we also started buying property. Right. We started off with 2 small flats, and then we bought a multi-unit, right, with a commercial space attached to it. So this again is the backup plan to a backup plan. Hey, we've moved to South Africa, and then one of us loses a job. We still have some supplemental income that will kind of cover the cost of that job loss, as well as while we are still gainfully employed, right? That rental income is now part of a saving strategy, right?
Right.
And that leads me to my third part. Why has it taken us so long? We have been stacking money. We've also been, making sure we have a nice, hefty savings of liquid cash, right? So that, again, if anything happened, if stuff hits the fan, we are able to maneuver and survive for at least a good year without having to worry about income or whatever have you. That we'll be able to feed our family, maintain our children in the school that they're going to go to, maintain our bills and all of that good stuff. So that has been part of the planning process. So income, multiple streams of income. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. We are planning, right? I think that was one of our videos. I think a couple of our videos actually uses the language why we are planning to leave, and because this is a process to us. Now, some people again have approached it differently. They have gone and just left, and they've been successful. And listen, I want to be clear. I'm not knocking anyone who says God told me to go, because that's that person's religion, that's that person's faith.
Right.
And if God's taking care of them, more power to them. Shout out to that. You know what I'm saying? That's impressive, in fact. You know, but for us, we are trying to make sure we're checking all of the boxes.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's still, I mean, if it's done within 2 or 3 years, that's still a pretty quick process. Some people, it may take like 5 years, or they're saying, hey, I'm going to wait until I retire. Got 8 years to retire, 6 years to retire. So
yeah, and
it's
some people,
not a slow process.
For some people right now, they may say, well, man, you guys have 2 decently paying virtual jobs. You know, you can go, right? But then there's other stuff we have to do, right?
Yeah.
We own a house, right? We own a business. So we have to close those doors.
Sell them all?
We have to sell the house. We have vehicles that we own. We have to sell the vehicles.
Right.
So that is a process. But even before the selling of that stuff, the doors, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say doors we have to close, but other things that we need to wrap up include dealing with the family issues.
Right.
Right. And so this is part of the planning process. So when we decided that we were going to, first of all, I come from a very, very, very close knit family. I mean, I don't think it gets any closer. We are a very close knit family, and the family in this house, meaning my wife, myself, and my children, we are very close knit. We move like the military units, right? But my mom and dad, very close to my mom and my dad, very close to my sisters. So when we decided that we were going to leave to go to South Africa, to move to South Africa, we had to plan. And that's the type of emotional and psychological planning that we had to have for our family. So when we initially told them, you know, there was it's denial. What's the stage of the grief? Denial, and then eventual, eventual acceptance, right? So at first they were like, nah, no, what are you doing? You know, y'all are crazy, blah, 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 blah. That type of reaction.
Yeah.
And then it was more like, that's never going to happen. They're not going to do that. Yeah, they're just talking. And then we started buying property, and then things started to, kick in for them.
Yeah.
And then it was,
it kept going.
Yeah. And then it was like, then we kept going back and forth. Yeah. And it was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So we're preparing them emotionally, as we, obviously we told them, but we're trying to prepare them emotionally to deal with the fact that we will not be in the U.S. and that's accessible. But we still plan on being back and forth to the U.S. 3-4 times a year, as well as we live in the age of technology where we can jump on a Zoom call, we can jump on a Google Meet, WhatsApp, and kind of, and it's really not about us. Let's be true. Let's be very truthful. My parents don't give a damn about me. I'm grown. They've already struggled to raise me. And I gave them a hard time too. I gave them a hard time. But it's not about me. It's about the children. They love my children. Literally, that's their world. And I try to explain. I'm like, I want to make sure I provide a great world. The same way you provided a great world for me, I want to provide a great world for these children. But they ain't hearing that.
No, they're not hearing that.
They ain't hearing that. My daddy told me, I'm gonna take you to court.
You gonna win custody?
I'm gonna take you to court for sure.
What are grandparents doing? 2 weeks later, they call you. Look at these children.
My children were out of school. They stayed over by my parents' house for a week, and they were like, "Yeah, won't you go on and come on and get."
Where y'all at?
Oh, that old grandparent talk. Yeah, went out the window real quick because they children, they real children, right?
Yeah.
And active. So what else? So we talked about that type of planning, the emotional, psychological planning of separation. What else?
As far as what to wrap up here?
Okay, we did multiple streams of income. Visas. So another thing, folk are moving to places, and I don't think they've done the research. Some of them have. Let me not act like we're super duper smart and we're doing all of this stuff, but I have just from what I have seen on some of the videos, folk are moving places and they have not necessarily secured the right type of visa to remain in the country
Yeah.
for an extended period of time, you know, and I'm not with that. I want to make sure that we are in South Africa legally, right? So there are three visa options that South Africa offers for long-term residency, and that is
that are possibilities for us.
that are possibilities for
others.
us, right? The first one is like a business visa, so that's not even a possibility for us because I think you need like 5 million rand invested, or I think they will waive.
Yeah,
for
it's just
certain
very
industry.
complicated.
Yeah, so that was out, and then there was the retired person's visa, which you need about 30,000 rand per month, and then an extra 3,000 rand per dependent.
Right.
And that was kind of an option that we were looking at, but for us, the easiest option would be the critical skills visa, right? And the critical skills visa is, I'm sure South Africans know, but for those who don't, it's like a list of critical skills that are needed,
in-demand skills,
and that are needed in South Africa. And one of those is like business management and public health, whatever. Both of which Adrian easily qualifies for. And then another is having a PhD obtained in the West, and I think it actually says the West on the critical skills list.
I don't remember.
I think that's the language in the West. So fortunately, we both kind of meet those different parts of the critical skills visa. So that's the methodology that we're going. Now, why haven't we just gone and applied? Well, part of the application process requires us to send off our passports, right? But we are leaving in December for a trip. So we can't send off our passports now, because if we do that, then we won't be able to leave in December for our trip or whatever. So we will be sending those off in January of 2022. We went today to do what?
To get fingerprints for a FBI background check.
Part of the process is getting a police clearance, right? So hopefully, y'all keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully I pass. Hopefully I pass. You know, God has delivered me. Can I get amen, people? God has delivered me. Nah, I'm just joking. But so we had to get an FBI clearance. Technically, it was, it said police clearance, but you have to get it through the FBI.
Yeah, and it sounds like we're gonna have to take a trip to DC.
And we have to take a trip to DC.
Deliver all of this.
Exactly. So all of this starts in January, in the new year. So the new year is like, and so our goal is June 2022 to be on the ground in South Africa. So why so long? Again, selling the house, and houses sell better in the spring. Always remember that. And it's not spring here until March or April.
Yeah.
Right. So even though it's a very hot sellers market right now, like sellers in New Orleans are getting, 15, 20,000 above asking.
But we don't want to sell it too early, because the children, we want them to finish out the school year.
Finish out the school year.
Their current school.
Right.
So our summertime works best to transition out.
Exactly. And also the student visas for the children. The school, we've already contacted the school in Johannesburg that we want them to attend. And they said it's March or
April when they can offer the provisional letters.
Right.
For the following school year.
Exactly.
Work the kids' student visas.
There you go. So we can work. So we have to wait till March or April for that. So these little pieces that again, it can be very easy to just boom and jump, but there are pieces that make this transition more sustainable, long-term, and permanent, right? If we cover these bases, then we won't look up in 2 years and like, man, what did we do? And not because we don't like South Africa, but because we didn't plan. We don't have enough money, or the children, didn't get into the right school, or we didn't plan to for healthcare.
Yeah.
right? That's another thing. So we're looking into an international plan we're looking into an American-based plan that has an international arm or an international component, so that when because we do plan, again, I said this before, we plan to be back and forth to the U.S. Partly for employment and partly for family,
Right.
so that if we get sick here,
It's
or
not an issue.
it's not an issue,
We
we
don't go
have an
broke.
American plan, right? Because people what what people will go broke messing around with the U.S. healthcare system.
Right.
And then we also want a supplemental plan in South Africa for stuff like wellness checks for the kids, some dentistry if I need to go and get my teeth cleaned and stuff like that. So we want that kind of local plan. And also if you go to a place in South Africa and you have this international plan, but they're like, no, we don't accept that or we don't take it. So I want to make sure we have
basically
something
need
local.
coverage of both.
Right, both worlds. Both
More
worlds.
emergency in the United States if we're really not going to be there for long periods, and full coverage in
Right.
South Africa. So yeah,
Right.
this is all part of the planning process.
Gotta plan. Gotta make sure it is done correctly. What else? Oh, we didn't mention also savings. We mentioned having a healthy savings, but we also wanted to position ourselves to have an ongoing savings so that we are able to continue to buy more property, because that is part of our long-term retirement plan, as well as we our the dictates of our religion um, mandate that the dictates mandate right? The dictates of our religion mandate that we leave an inheritance for our sons. So we want to make sure that that we are building a nice portfolio of things that we don't want to do the GoFundMe. People dying and they selling chicken plates and GoFundMe, right? That's not funny, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Like people die and they don't have insurance.
Yeah, life insurance.
Right, don't have life insurance,
Is
and
that just something we do? I don't know.
yeah, we do have life insurance.
No, so I
Definitely.
was wondering if like South Africa, if it's typical to have a life insurance plan.
I don't know. I can almost guarantee it, because
Okay.
death
the benefits packages.
death is lucrative. Everybody gonna die. The people try to make that money off of sick. Everybody gonna die.
Right. But anyway.
But anyway, so look at that. Just 22 minutes, bam, and we finished.
Just that quick.
Just that quick, man. Before we go, I want to say thank you to everyone that has reached out, emailed, and said they want to hook up and link up. I responded to each email, and I think I got a couple of Bri invites, and we got a couple of just people want to sit down, have a cup of coffee, and talk with us or whatever have you. So we appreciate that. I also appreciate every comment in the comment section. I've learned more about the colored culture.
Yeah.
I've learned
there's a lot of response to that. That was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I learned that my wife looked like Sade. What's her name? Sade. Yeah, smooth operator. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, she's a pretty
Nice
woman.
looking lady.
Yeah, she is. She's a pretty woman. But I think you got her personally. I think you got her. Don't worry about it.
Don't argue this in the comments.
Don't worry about it. I got it. But yeah. All right, y'all. So we don't want to hold you much longer than need be. I told you we're going to try to be consistent with uploading videos. We love all the likes and the comments, and yeah, man, appreciate the views. And we will see you guys in about 2 days. Tomorrow is a holiday here in the U.S. I'm sure you guys know that, but it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, so I'm going to eat big turkey. You hear me? And cranberry sauce.
Sit
around and talk and run off at the mouth with family and gumbo.
Yeah. And then we're driving to Texas.
Yep, to go see Adrian's family
first, and then go see my family.
There's a fire. If you guys ever visit Houston, Texas, there's 2 fire restaurants. There's a Nigerian restaurant. Well, I mean, it's a gang of Nigerian restaurants.
Good restaurants.
Right, in Houston. But there's one called Cafe Abuja. I don't know why I'm giving these people free shout out. But anyway, and
The
then
food is good.
because the food roll, it roll. It really does. This is delicious food. And then, but the one that we're gonna go to Friday, God willing, is called Zongo.
Zongo.
Off the
Ghanaian.
chain. Off the chain.
So
Ghanaian
good.
food.
And let me tell you,
Yeah.
our 11-year-old was eating pepper soup.
Yep. Like a
Like a
gangster.
champ. It was hot too. Like I thought I could handle heat. But at Cafe Abuja, that pepper soup, I couldn't take it. I had like 2 I was like, I can't do it. It's too hot.
He was grabbing the fufu.
And he was hitting it up. I was like, and then this weekend he's like, I'm gonna get pepper soup. I was like, why
Gangster.
do you love pepper soup? It's in the genes.
It's in the genes. Because you know, if you watch our DNA episode, you know I'm 33% Nigerian.
Yeah.
And I'm related to a Burna Boy.
Like 23%. So yeah, he got it on us.
He got it on us. But I tasted it, man. I broke a physical sweat.
Yeah, you were sweating.
I was
like,
sweating.
It was hot. It's just one of those. It's like the heat that just lingers.
Yeah.
It does not go away. You sit up here drinking all this while you're doing whatever you can, and it's just like.
And he was eating it like a champ.
He went through it.
I was
like
proud of him.
I was looking at him like.
I was like, you different.
How are you doing? Right?
Like, you different.
You the one? Can't wait.
You built different, boy.
We're looking forward to Zongo.
Yeah.
And to see my family. I haven't been home in a while. It's been a little while, so it'll be good to see them. Anyway, y'all.
All right, family. Well,
see you.
Peace and hair grease.
Right.
If anybody's wondering why Assad is sitting here with the Uncle Phil, right, with the fire Uncle Phil, and I'm not shaving my head and I haven't shaved my face, it is No Shave November. And people are supposed to grow their hair and use the money that we would typically use to get groomed, right? And donate that money to an organization that's dedicated to cancer research or a cancer organization. So that's what I've been doing. I know, I got the George Jefferson / Uncle Phil popping right now, but on December 1st, I'll be funky fresh. Get it? Y'all have a good one.
Bye, y'all.